Blackburn Rovers transfer rumour mill continues to bubble with another striker coming at you from League One. Or is it the Championship? We're going to take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks, once again, another transfer rumour coming at you for Blackburn Bloody Rovers. Of course, and we'll talk about him in just a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button back to all things Rovers related, transfers related, world football related. We're all here, boys. Under one Rooski, that's right, of course. I'm talking about Niall Ennis, of course, from Plymouth Argyle, who, of course, has since the end of the season been promoted with Plymouth Argyle and will be in that championship no matter what. But will he be wearing the blue and white halves or the green from the Green Army? That is Plymouth Argyle. Take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. You know who you are. But let's jump in and tell you what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about coming at you from various sources. This is just the one I've dragged up here. It is, of course, the Plymouth Live, saying Plymouth Argyle striker Niall Ennis linked with Rovers and Swansea City. 12 goals the campaign. We'll dig deep into it. Right here, right now. He's, of course, riding a crest of a wave right now with Plymouth Argyle back in the second tier. And I'm all happy to see them here to compete alongside Rovers next season. So let's take a look at the youngster here, of course, and his campaign this past season. Played 38 times for the Green Army, scoring 12 goals, 6 assists. That's picked up a couple of yellow cards along the way. In his League One campaign. He was involved in the starting 11, 41% of the time, 44% of the minutes, and was involved in 22% of the goal participation for Plymouth this campaign. And that is just the League One campaign, not looking at his the playoffs, or even though they weren't involved in the League Cup, the FA Cup, all that kind of stuff. He does play straight down the middle. He can play on the left and also as a shadow striker if we see fit. Or if we are lucky enough to bring him in. This is, of course, in his earlier days. He was on the books of the likes of Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's also spent time with Burton, Doncaster Rovers as well, and Shrewsbury Town in his young career. In his young career, but he scored 7 goals as a striker this campaign. Was a centre forward, should I say? 15 starts. He scored 24 goals in total for Plymouth. In 97 games, just shy of 1 and 3, and 12 assists as well. He did also score quite a bucket load of goals for the under-21s for Wolves. Was also very creative in providing those, and also scoring for Doncaster as well. His performances at competition level, the majority, in fact, all his senior goals have come from League One, 28 in total, 126 games. That's not great numbers, but he is, when you're working your way up the ladder. Yeah, there is a breaking point with a lot of strikers where they suddenly start finding the goal more often than not. Again, depending on how he's been played, it can be if he's been played on the left or as the right, or down the middle. It can affect how often you have those moments in front of goal. But as you can see, he's also been represented by England through under 16 to under 19 levels, scoring 3 goals for the under 17s. Way back in 2015. But what about more about the kid here? Well, let's compare him to our current senior striker, Sam Gallagher. Of course, Sam Gallagher is 3 years older than that of Niall Ennis, but plays predominantly the similar positions to that of the young Plymouth forward. Gallagher can play on the right. Ennis has yet to play there with Plymouth Argyle or his previous clubs. But I feel he's got the right attributes to do just that as well. He plays with the same foot as Gallagher. I think I think it's just a matter of time. If he is to be successful enough to come and join us this campaign, that he will have time on that right if we continue to play the way we have with the likes of Diaz, Dolan, all interchanging within those spots. So yes, he hasn't got that on his resume here, but I'm sure he can pick that up, no problem. Of course, his contract does expire at the end of the campaign, June 30th, 2023. And the reason I'm bringing this one to the fore here is that there is speculation that this deal or at deal with another club or a club, of course, contract is expiring, is going to be finalised very soon. Now, we're talking days here, not weeks. So a deal for Niall Ennis, whether he stays, whether he goes, to who that club is, should be concluded within a couple of weeks or so. But let's compare the two strikers, of course. That important number I want to bring you to attention to is down here, is 274 for Niall Ennis, 329 for Sam Gallagher. We are looking at the lower, the better here. I was thinking, what's that number all about? So I brought up Erling Haaland. His number is down at 79. 79 minutes per goal. That's what we're looking at here. As for these two kids here, well, the two players, Gallagher's number is at 329 points per goal, whereas Niall Ennis is 274. So it's considerably less. We're looking at about 50 minutes less per goal when compared to the two players. And again, 43 goals scored, 193 games for the Plymouth man, 60 goals scored by 321 games for Gallagher. So he's a veteran in terms of especially Rovers players, playing over 300 games professionally in all calibers over his career. So he's getting there. I also want to bring attention to another player that we have been linked with, and I have done a video on him, Kevin Nesbit. And again, both these two names that we have been linked with, and there was rumours and suggestions that Kevin Nesbit has played his last home game for Hibs this past week or so, and he is his move somewhere this summer is imminent. Now, whether it is Rovers, whether it is Millwall, whether it is Swansea, I don't know. But I wanted to compare the two prospects for Blackburn Rovers here in this video, just to kind of see what each player offers in regards to their style of play, where they've played in the past, their height, their weight, that sort of stuff. As you can see, Kevin Nesbit is just slightly bigger. He is older, though. He's a couple of years older than Niall Ennis. But which one would you rather have? I want to put that out there for you guys. Let me know down below. If it was a toss-up between these two guys, we have talked about Colby Bishop. We have talked about Miles Lieburn as well. Other players that have been linked. And I'm sure there's going to be more. I think there's a Dutch lad as well that has been linked, which I'm very excited about that one if that was to come through. But maybe it's not a case of which one. Maybe we get both. I don't want to sound greedy, but we are light in numbers, and I think we do need at least, we definitely need one forward player, but I think realistically we do need two. There might even be suggestions that we are looking at two. And the players that can play on the left and the right, as well as up front, will add a bit more versatility. So Niall Ennis might swing it that way, and the price tag for Nesbit was also something that could be a deterrent for Blackburn Rovers when Ennis's contract does expire. Nesbit's got another year to go, so there looks like there's going to be a fee involved with that one. What about their values, of course, between the two players? Of course, Nesbit's did peak around about 3 million way back a couple of seasons ago, but now steady around about 2 million. And again, that may go down even further. Looking at maybe 1.5 million for the right deal. Because of his contract expiring next season. As for Ennis, it's kind of bubbled around about the 500,000 mark right here, right now. But again, contract is expiring, and it could be a good, shrewd move for Blackburn Rovers to pick him up on a free. Again, I want to compare the numbers, and again, like I said, Erling Haaland, around about 79, something like that, points per or minutes per game. 274 for Ennis. Nesbit's around about 167. This is in Scotland, no disrespect to Scotland, and a lot of goals. He has spread them out across the divisions. He has knocked up 250 games, just around about 50 games more than Niall Ennis, but significantly, that number is much lower than Niall Ennis. So what do you think about those two guys here? Would you like to see one or both coming in at Ewood Park? Or if you had to make a decision, which one would you go for moving forward? For me, I don't know. It is a coin flip. There are benefits for both. There's a bit more experience, knows where the back of the net is. It could be an absolute gem. However, our track record or the record, for Scottish strikers with Rovers, we've got to go back to Kevin Gallagher days to have a one that's significantly delivered. Or am I thinking wrongly? I can't remember the last Scotsman to rip it up for Rovers. Unless I don't want to. It is early, 16 a.m. So I'm not thinking. Whereas Niall Ennis, exciting, ripped up League One, going for free. It really is a toss-up. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below as we look forward to some more transfer rumours right here at Blackburn Roverseas. Until then, make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell, and of course I'll see you soon for another video tomorrow.